So we got an Ingersoll 226 here. The customer brought in with the starter issue. I'd say so. Apparently it has a history of snapping starters off. We're going to dig into this and see if we can figure out what the issue is. He said the first one or two it snapped off fairly right away. He had a shop put this one on and it's been on for years. But obviously something's not right. It might be an installation error, not getting shimmed and adjusted correctly. Or it might be a bolt hole issue with the bolts coming loose. But we'll tear it apart. These are a little time consuming, but not hard. But with the case Ingersolls, you got to pull the front of the tractor apart because this front blower housing has to come off to access the bolts, especially if you got an oil filter. You can't get in there. So we're going to pull the hood off. We're going to pull the shroud off, shields, and then we're going to move the cooler out of the way. It doesn't need to get disconnected. But we'll take some videos as progress goes. So we pulled the radiator support off. We got the cooler tied up and out of the way. It's not disconnected. You just move it out of the way. It's good to go. So we disconnect the fan. That way you can take the cooler tower off with the heat shield. You just kind of pivot it up and back. You got to take the fan off to get clearance to get that cooler tower off. Next, we're going to take the PTO off and then unbolt this front shroud and then the oil filter side heat tin. So as you can see, we popped the muffler off. It just made taking this front cover off easier. In some of the models you don't have to, but it just made it easier. So we got the front end, the PTO off, the front shroud, the side shroud. And I was thinking I was gonna find a broken bolt in here, but as you can see, they're both there and intact. And that casting just broke. I don't see why. I spun the flywheel over. The teeth don't look too bad. The teeth on the starter itself don't look bad. It just clear snapped off here though, for sure. I mean, the teeth are a little banged up, but not horrible by any means. So I have no idea. Nothing's loose. It doesn't make any sense. But what you got to do is you got to get in there and get those two bolts out. And obviously those two bolts go in on the new starter. There's not a ton of room to get those bolts out between it and the flywheel, but as long as somebody put the correct length bolt in, they can come out. I have had it before, somebody put longer bolts in and then you got to pull the flywheel. So next we're going to pop this broken piece off and then we'll install the new starter. All right, we got the old starter off, got the new one installed. We put new bolts on there with lock washers and washers, mismatched bolts and washers on it. I like to use the lock washers because they give us a little tension when we're adjusting this as well. So got everything on their way to flip this mount bolt around. They had the nut coming up through here and it was pretty close to the starter base here, so I flipped it around. You may have to do that, may not. Now I'm going to show you how to set this gear lash in here so it engages correctly. So you want to get your starter snugged up, but so you can still move it in and out. You may need a bar, but you see this one still moves. So what I usually like to do is spin it out by hand all the way out. Get it lined up there. And then if you look straight on here so you can see the teeth engagement, I push it up into the teeth and then I'll rotate it a little bit. And then you want to back it off a hair. So basically when that gear is in there, it's got a little bit of play both directions. Hopefully you can see that. And it's about centered in there. And when you tighten this up, it may move. You want to sometimes hold this starter with a bar so it doesn't move when you tighten it up. But that's why we leave it snug so you can adjust this in or out. So I can go in or I can go out with it. So right now it's out too far. I just want to snug it up a little bit. And then that's in too much. You'll see it. You want it out just a hair. So your teeth are about 3/4 of the way into each other roughly. If you go too tight or too loose, you're going to destroy the flywheel, especially if it's too loose. So that there is about right. Long ratchet wrenches make a huge difference. You kind of work them both evenly, so you try not to move that starter. You want to get them pretty tight, and then you check the gear one more time. It also moved a little bit. It did come out a little bit. It's too far out, so I'm going to readjust it. I'll get a bar. If you leave that misadjusted, it's going to wipe out the starter and or the flywheel. So we'll just loosen these back up again and then reposition this where it needs to be. Just take a bar underneath, make sure you don't pinch any wires, and then just move it into where you want it. It feels about right in there. Maybe in just a little too much. But when I tightened it last time, it came out, so we'll leave it there. And if you're worried about it coming out, you can keep your bar underneath just for a little bit of pressure. I'm just going to pull it out just a hair. Yeah, that's better there. So this time when I go to tighten it up, I'll just keep some pressure on it. And then now you want to spin it. Make sure everything looks good, feels good. Engage it a couple of times by hand. So when you spin it this way, everything should be good. You spin it back, it should kick away. And you should make sure there's enough clearance back in here that your gear is not riding on the flywheel. Hopefully you can see there. There's probably 3/16 of an inch or so in there, not quite. And then this is important. You want to make sure you hook your battery up to your starter before you put everything back. But you want to crank this thing over, make sure everything engages, disengages, because if you put this all together and you got an issue, you got to take it all apart again. So if you just take your spark plugs out, keep them grounded, or just connect the wire from the coil, your hot wire, and then you'll be good. Well, here goes nothing. Try it a few times. Making a mess, but that's okay. You'll notice it disengages and engages like it should, nice and smooth. We use a nice heavy-duty starter, not made in China. There's a bunch of crap ones out there, but this is a good starter. We've had a lot of luck with these. We sold, I don't even know how many, but lots. And they're very reasonable priced. OEM starters are not available. I can't find them, and the last time I saw them on eBay and stuff, they were $500, $600, $700. So that's what it should look like and sound like. So now we're going to button this back up, but that's your starter install. And once you do that, just go back and tighten up the bolts a little bit more. Check your gap. You don't want to go too crazy, but we used 1 1/4" bolts with lock washers and flat washers to give it a little more clamping force and make sure we have enough thread engagement into the block. But that's just for your Onan B series and BF series starters. P series are a little different and they're easier. I wanted to do a quick video showing you guys what snapped on this starter and compare the starters we offered compared to these garbage China ones. So this is just a crap pot metal. I don't even think it's aluminum. It's just a recycled bunch of garbage metal. That's why these snap. They're poor quality. There's nothing about the starter that's decent or heavy duty. Even the starter gear is soft metal. I can show you the difference on ours here just by looking at them. Ours is much better metal in here, nice clean casting, and then it's machined down where it needs to be machined. Where this is just a rough casting garbage. Hopefully you can see the difference in the starter gear. So they cost a little bit more money, but you get what you pay for. And if you can find a $500 or $600 OEM starter, well, that's the best bet. But if you can't afford it or find it, we're pretty happy with this option that we use here. We sold, I can't even tell you how many of these, dozens and dozens of these starters. Haven't had any issues. We use them personally. I've got them on some of my restorations, my personal machines, but we sell here out of the shop. But just wanted to show you that's likely what the deal with this is. He said he's broken, I think he said 3 or 4 starters. I'm going to guess whoever's putting these on is buying the cheapest eBay, Amazon starter they can find. And that's what's going on. We couldn't find anything wrong with the flywheel, with the bolts, anything on the machine that would cause this except faulty metal, you know, back casting, fatigued casting. You know, this crap metal is only going to take so much torquing and cycles before it snaps. Well, we got the moment of truth. The starter's all on, everything's buttoned up. RJ did his first starter here, did a good job so far. We'll fire it up, see if it'll go, bud. Beautiful. Good job. You can fire right up, sounds good. Yeah, cranks right over, nice. Thanks for watching, guys. Always remember, don't get frustrated. If man built it, man can fix it, and we're always happy here to help you fix it and get you set up with the right parts. Go to Case Ingersoll Tractors Northeast. The website's caseingersolltractors.com, or caseingersoll.com works just as well. We've got a lot of new item parts. Be always sure to check out our newly added page of parts, new and used. We're always adding stuff. Try to almost do it weekly. Got some merch that's out there. Sorry this video took a long time to get you guys a newer how-to video. We've been super busy and understaffed and crazy busy. We'll try to get some more how-to videos. I know you guys love them. You've been asking for them. We appreciate all your support. And keep watching. And be sure to subscribe and stay up to date at our website.